this is definitely some of the sketchiest driving I've done. I've driven in the snow, but when you get to like the highway, especially the interstate, it's always like, you know, no snow on it because a lot of people just, you know, drive through it and melt it and what have you. But here it's, yeah, the snow is still on the ground. There's kind of just like one lane on the actual highway that everybody's using, which is what I'm in right now, because you can't actually see the line, so it's super sketchy. Anyway, I called up the gym that I'm going to, and they said they're open, so I mean, I'm excited about that. At least I can still get a workout in. You can see I'm just following behind this truck here, but luckily I'm exiting soon, so it's not too bad. Okay, well, we made it to the gym. I imagine it's literally going to be like completely empty, maybe like a few people who are just being stupid like me. But yeah, look at this. There's like literally no visible lines or anything. It's so sketchy. And I'm from Jersey, so I'm like used to seeing the roads covered like this, but not like this where literally your wheels aren't even getting rid of the snow or anything. And people just don't drive because of it. All right, y'all, so I'm recording this after the fact. So the first offense was actually a forearm plank. So with that, I think the max was 330. I still haven't checked it yet. But with that, you weren't allowed to like lift your arms or your feet. You couldn't interlock your fingers or anything like that. So yeah, it wasn't really too bad. Not gonna lie, I feel like I could have gone like probably another minute and a half. Kind of sucked, but not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So now for the push-ups, which kind of sucks because my shoulders are super tight now. All right, so next was the push-up. So the push-up wasn't really that bad. I'm not gonna lie, my form could have been a little bit better as far as like locking outs, but once I really go like any further than this, my arms are just like not really made to do that, and they start clicking a lot. So those are my excuses out of the way, but not gonna lie, these weren't that bad, and that is because you're actually allowed to rest. It's not like the army push-up where you can rest with your back arched and stuff like that, but you can rest in the up position, which was really, really nice because we did the FBI fitness test where you weren't allowed to rest at all. And if you can't rest, going past like 50 or 60 is really, really difficult because you just have so much lactic acid building up and your muscles just get destroyed. They can't get like the right oxygen flow that they actually need. So being able to rest is definitely nice. So that was much appreciated. Again, that sucked, but really not too bad. Okay, now the worst part of everything is going to be the rower. Okay, now with the last event, that is the cardio event. So the main event is a 1.5 mile run, but I kind of just wanted to see how I could do the row. So the row is a 2,000 meter row, and I think a perfect is like 7 or 7:10 or something like that. Yeah, it was not going to be getting the max. I will say that right now, was definitely not going to be getting that. You really need to be in proper rowing conditioning, pretty much doing it like almost every day to get 2,000 meters in under 7 minutes. Now, the rowing machines in this particular gym were water rowers, which I like and also dislike because you can't change the resistance up like with a normal like Concept 2 rower. You can change the resistance for really light and also really heavy. Now with that, if it's really light, you're not going to be, those meters are going to take longer and longer because you're not really putting in as much, force into the actual rowing machine. Well, if you put a max difficulty, which is what I'm used to doing, then you get to go a little bit further. Now with the water rower, it wasn't really adjustable. Like I've had a water rower previously and you literally just had to add more water to actually like change the resistance. So I'm not really sure how that was. I just know whenever I was doing one row, it was only like 5 or 6 meters and it was just brutal to see. Now I wanted to do the row over the run just because running is cool, but honestly my running fluctuates a lot. Like running on a treadmill, if I was doing a mile and a half, I could probably get around 9:30 if I was feeling good. But on like a normal track, maybe like 10, probably closer to 10:30. And if it's just crappy outside and I'm not really feeling it, it'd probably be more like an 11:30 mile and a half. So running is cool, it fluctuates a lot, but I wanted to try doing the rowing because for me, what I've noticed is if you're not rowing constantly, if you go like a couple of weeks or 3 weeks or a month without actually rowing, going back into rowing is just going to like knock your socks off. It is freaking brutal. So I kind of wanted to challenge myself and see how close I could get to that 7 minutes. Didn't really get that close, not as close as I would have liked, but I gotta say it was a very, very solid cardio workout, especially with like the mask on and whatnot. It was just, yeah, it was brutal. So I'm gonna transition back to me like 5 hours ago or so I can close out the video for y'all. Okay, so I gotta say everything was super easy. The plank was very, very easy to max. The push-ups were pretty easy to max because you do get that rest, unlike that FBI fitness test where you can't rest at all. So being able to do that makes it a lot easier to max out for me. But holy cow, I'm not in rowing shape and it was pretty obvious, but I thought I would at least get closer to like, I don't know, 8 minutes or 8:30. I've gotten a 7-minute 2-kilometer row before. It's very, very difficult, but I managed to get it before. But yeah, it was not happening today, especially with the mask on. I felt like I was about to have like a panic attack because I'm just trying to get all this oxygen and it's not coming. But yeah, I'll try and do a little brief description of each event beforehand because I wasn't able to actually record in that gym because they just don't like when you do stuff like that. So I'll try and give a brief description. I'll just record that at home or something so you guys can get a better idea of what the exercise actually entails and what you actually need to do for it. But yeah, it was fun. I did like a pretty decent workout afterwards, so feeling pretty good. The roads aren't as sketchy now as you guys can kind of see here. You can actually see the lines now. And I know it's not really safe to drive and talk, but yeah, I'll wrap this up so I'm not being too unsafe. I do have a Tesla, but it's not in autopilot, so I can't even use that as an excuse. But I definitely want to do some more fitness tests, so if you guys have some good ones, definitely throw them my way. And it's fun content, I think. But let me know what you guys think about these fitness tests. Again, anything to recommend, put it down below. But that is it for this video. I'll see you all in the next one.